Before you start the video, I want you to make an apology. I'm sorry it took so long to get this out. I started this and forgot I had commitment issues. So, and also, do not talk to me about how bad these look. I know they are terrible. I'm thinking about making another video where I'm like redesigning them again. So, yeah, it's not good, but like it's all I got. I'm not redoing this. Greetings and salutations. My name is Nightmare, and welcome back to the Relatable Artist Group channel, or just welcome if you're new here. Today, to celebrate the guy who doesn't like musicals or prize, I'm gonna redesign the human forms of the Lords in Black. Well, because they don't really dress that good. No shade. They're not gonna be drastically different because, to be honest, every time I look at them, their costumes grow a little bit more on me. I just think they need a little bit of tweaking to look better, in my opinion. First up is Pokey. Fun fact, this was the second to last redesign I did because I did these out of order. So I already had ideas for how I wanted him to look before I started. I wanted him to look a bit like a gay theater kid, so I took some inspiration from Professor Higgins. His design isn't that far off from the original because I like it a lot already. I just added some more accessories, changed his pants to be bell bottoms, made his hair and coattails look a little goopy, and I made him a little bit androgynous. For me, the hardest part about these redesigns were actually the poses. I didn't just want them standing there like ref sheets, so I opened just sketch.me so I could mess around till I found a pose I liked. The problem was that I didn't really take into account how thin the canvas was when I made the pose, so I had to mess around with it so the left arm could actually fit and look good. It was way harder than I make it sound. I was struggling for my life. And this is Picotho, the most uncompromising of the brothers. Next is Blinky. The first thing I knew that I wanted to do was give him an eye motif. I originally wanted to put eyes in his hair, but I scrapped it because I thought it had too much clutter in the design. But I did give him bracelets that looked like eyes, and a belt for good measure. Another thing I did for the eye motif was make his eyes take up most of his face. It's probably not that noticeable because I already draw big eyes, but it's the thought that counts. I put him in a cropped hoodie with a pink shirt underneath that. Now that I'm editing this, I probably should have made the sleeves longer or made the boots shorter because the pink takes up too much of the design and purple is Pokey's main color. For accessories, I gave him some glasses that were already on his original design and a bucket of popcorn because you can't really watch a show without it. And this is Blinkletep, the most sadistic of the brothers. Next is Tinky. I didn't change his design that much because when I saw him in Nerdy Prudes Must Die, I fell in love with it. Like, it was almost perfect in my eyes. I made his hair really fluffy like it was in Nerdy Prudes Must Die, but I made it look like he had horns and ears and, like, a tail. When he gets there, you'll see. I was gonna give him brown roots in his hair so the horns part would be brown, but I scrapped it because it looked, like, really weird. But I made up for it because I gave him brown fingerless gloves that look like hooves, and I gave him a brown belt. Like I said when I was drawing Pokey, the poses for these were the hardest part of it. I already had a pose set up, but when it actually came to drawing it, I was not feeling it. I was not. So I for inspiration, I took the picture that you've already seen as my transition frame and just used that as inspo for his pose. For accessories, I gave him a little pocket watch on his pants, and you could see in his coat pocket that he has the Bastards box in it. One thing, it was originally supposed to have Ted's silhouette in it, but I either scrapped it or turned off the layer and forgot to turn it back on because it's not there anymore. So one thing I find really funny is because I added more fur on his outfit. He looks a lot like Tails, and like I drew this at like 6 in the morning, so I was just tweaking out over him looking like Tails. And this is Tanoi Caraxes, the trickiest of the brothers. I was originally gonna make Nibbly a femboy till I remembered I don't like drawing men, so I decided to be lazy and keep him a female. I made him fat because his like one defining trait is eating, so obviously. My favorite part of the design, actually not my favorite, it's the only part I like about it, because the rest of this is trash. The part I like about it is how I made his bangs look like teeth, because mouth, teeth. So, it took me a really long time to do because I was doing it again, trying to figure out what shape the bang should be, specifically the top. So it took a long time, but like it is my favorite part, so it was worth it. When I was coloring this, I was struggling so hard, especially on the furry jacket thing, because his hair went like all the way down instead of being into two pigtails. So when I was coloring the furry jacket thing, it looked so weird because it was like bright pink against bright pink. So I decided to make it his lip color. It's still really bad. It's so bad. Another thing that I semi-like about this is that it's not very noticeable, but on the lollipop, I made it like meat textured because there's a video on YouTube, the live version of the summoning, and one of the comments was like, "Oh, am I the only one who thinks Nibbly's lollipop is meat?" And I really liked that, so I made it human meat. This is Nibble and Effin, the hungriest of the brothers. The last one is Wiggly, my beloved. I love Wiggly so much. Probably because he's voiced and played by John Madison. Anyway, I didn't change him that much. I know you're gonna look at this and be like, Nightmare, that's very changed, but like by my standards, I didn't change him that much because I drew him last, and when I started this, I hated Wiggly's design the most. But all of the I cannot speak. All of these like grew on me so much. Their outfits grew on me. So when I was doing these progressively, I was like, hey, it's not so bad. By the time I did Wiggly, I was trying to do stuff to change because I was like, I have to do it because I need to give these drawings a purpose. So Wiggly isn't that changed besides the fact that he has freckles, the pentagram on his forehead, and he looks like a Tumblr sexy man. And his coattails look like tentacles, that's all. That's all I could think of. This is Wagagurak, the cleverest of the brothers. I know this video wasn't in the best quality, but you should really give the rest of our channel a look. Because there's more of us here. We don't all do the same thing. And believe it or not, I have videos that I don't speak in. So just check out the channel if you want to see another show-stopping number with Emma front and center. But if you want to join us and die
All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Remember, you're the most poggers version of yourself, and I like you. So, have a nice day. Bye!